For many seniors, the pursuit of a longer, healthier life can feel overwhelming with all the conflicting advice out there. But what if the secret to extending your life by up to 8 years was as simple as changing one morning habit starting tomorrow? A habit that doesn't require expensive supplements, complicated diets, or exhausting workouts, but is instead rooted in centuries of proven wisdom, modern science, and the daily routines of the world's longest living people. Imagine waking up each day with more energy, fewer aches, clearer thinking, and a stronger heart, all because of something so simple yet powerful that it's been overlooked by millions. This is not a fad or a gimmick, but a foundational truth supported by the latest research from top universities and health institutions, pointing to a single practice that regulates your hormones, jumpstarts your metabolism, improves your mood, enhances cellular repair, and sets the tone for the entire day. What's even more surprising is how accessible it is. No matter your income, your health condition, or where you live, you can begin this tomorrow without needing any fancy equipment or drastic changes. And yet the benefits compound dramatically over time, because unlike medications that often come with side effects or diminishing returns, this habit only gets more potent the longer you stick with it, helping you combat the very diseases that steal years from seniors like heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, dementia, and even certain cancers. Now picture this. Your morning begins not with stress, confusion, or scrolling on a phone, but with intentional clarity. Because this practice calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol, and gives your brain the oxygen and nutrients it craves after a night of fasting. And it also resets your circadian rhythm, ensuring you sleep deeper at night and wake more refreshed, which is crucial for those over 60 whose natural melatonin production has already begun to decline. And even your digestion becomes more efficient as this habit supports gut health and detoxification, flushing out toxins and inflammation that have built up over time. So what is this miraculous yet shockingly simple habit? It's the act of mindful morning hydration paired with gentle sunlight exposure and movement. Specifically, drinking 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water infused with a small pinch of mineral-rich pink Himalayan salt and the juice of half a lemon within 30 minutes of waking up, followed by 5 to 10 minutes of outdoor movement like a light walk, stretch, or Tai Chi in the early morning sun. This combination rehydrates your organs, stimulates lymphatic drainage, alkalizes your system, and bathes your cells in vital electrolytes while the natural sunlight triggers serotonin production, stabilizes your sleep-wake cycle, and boosts immune function. And all of this is backed by compelling research. For instance, studies show that early morning light exposure alone can decrease depressive symptoms and improve longevity markers, while hydration on an empty stomach supports kidney function and prevents cognitive decline. And adding lemon and salt further enhances electrolyte balance and antioxidant activity. So while this might seem too simple to be true, the reason it works so well is that it addresses so many core biological systems all at once, unlike piecemeal approaches that target one symptom without solving the root causes of aging. And even though millions skip this habit or rush into caffeine and screens first thing, those who adopt this slow, mindful approach to starting their day not only live longer, but live better, with improved mental clarity, fewer falls, stronger bones, and a more balanced emotional state. Which is why this morning routine is a non-negotiable staple among centenarians from Okinawa to Sardinia, who may not have medical degrees or gym memberships, but who do understand the power of beginning their day with intention, connection to the earth, and nourishment from nature itself. While the idea of a morning ritual as a tool for reversing aging and extending life may seem far-fetched to some, what scientists and gerontologists are now uncovering through decades of longevity research is that the consistency and simplicity of early day behaviors have an outsized effect on long-term health outcomes, especially for those over 60. Because it turns out that how we wake up and what we do in the first 60 minutes of our day sets off a chain reaction in nearly every biological system including our endocrine, cardiovascular, immune, and neurological networks. And when those systems are aligned with nature's rhythms instead of chaotic modern habits, the results are staggering in their impact. Take, for instance, the effect of circadian alignment, which is regulated by exposure to natural morning light. This exposure not only resets your internal clock, but activates genes that govern cellular repair, telomere maintenance, and immune regulation, which are the same genetic markers studied in blue zones, those rare regions where people live to 100 and beyond without chronic disease. And when you pair this with mindful hydration that flushes the liver and kidneys after 8 hours of metabolic waste accumulation during sleep, you begin to unlock an internal detox system that supports clean blood, sharp cognition, and smooth digestion, all critical factors for preserving mobility, independence, and quality of life as you age. Now, let's add another layer to this morning habit that is just as transformative but even more overlooked, and that is purposeful slow movement right after hydration and sunlight. Studies have shown that gentle morning motion, like walking barefoot on grass, light yoga, or even slow dancing in the kitchen, activates what's known as your lymphatic pump, a network responsible for clearing toxins and distributing immune cells. And this movement also stimulates muscle memory, proprioception, and balance, helping reduce the risk of falls, which are the leading cause of injury-related death in seniors. Yet rarely do we see doctors prescribing morning movement as a medication, despite the fact that just 5 minutes of intentional motion in sunlight has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, oxygenate the brain, elevate mood, and reduce joint stiffness, especially in those with arthritis, Parkinson's, or postural degeneration. And if you're wondering how this connects to adding years to your life, the answer lies in the compounding benefits of habit stacking, where multiple life-giving processes are triggered simultaneously. Early light exposure boosts serotonin, which converts into melatonin at night for deeper sleep. Hydration supports blood pressure regulation and detoxification. Lemon provides vitamin C and polyphenol that protect the brain from oxidative stress. Pink salt provides trace minerals that support adrenal function and electrolyte balance. And slow movement revs up your metabolism without increasing inflammation, all of which makes this routine not only incredibly simple, but profoundly restorative. Perhaps most compelling is that this routine is highly adaptable. Whether you live in a city apartment, a rural area, or a retirement community, you can still practice this by opening a window for fresh air and natural light, drinking your infused water while doing arm circles, breathing deeply, and stretching your spine gently in place, which sends a message to your body and brain that you are alive, engaged, and in tune with the rhythms of health rather than decline. And unlike medications that target isolated symptoms or expensive therapies that only a few can access, this morning practice is democratic, accessible to everyone regardless of background, and when practiced consistently, has the power to lower your risk of stroke, reduce anxiety, improve blood sugar control, and even slow the shortening of your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA associated with biological aging. And what's more, this routine also has profound effects on your emotional resilience, as beginning the day in calm, control, and connection increases oxytocin and reduces cortisol, creating a neurochemical environment in your brain that makes you more likely to eat healthier, move more during the day, sleep better at night, and feel more optimistic about your future. And that emotional shift alone is associated with improved longevity, stronger social bonds, and even a lower risk of dementia and depression. So while the world races to find high-tech solutions to aging, the truth is that the key to adding 8 vibrant years to your life may be sitting quietly in your kitchen and your backyard, waiting for you to begin tomorrow morning. Now, what makes this particular morning habit especially transformative for seniors is how it rebalances key hormones that become disrupted with age. And we're not just talking about testosterone or estrogen, but the often overlooked hormones that regulate inflammation, hunger, and mood, such as cortisol, ghrelin, leptin, and dopamine, because as the body ages, the hormonal symphony becomes more like chaotic noise than a coordinated orchestra. And this leads to a cascade of issues, including poor sleep, persistent fatigue, emotional volatility, increased belly fat, and cognitive fog. But when you begin your day with the right environmental cues, light, movement, hydration, breath, you are essentially telling your body it is safe, it is synchronized, and it does not need to store fat or shut down digestion or remain in fight or flight mode, which are all survival adaptations that become chronically activated in modern seniors who are often living under low-grade stress without even realizing it. And this explains why so many people wake up tired despite 8 hours in bed, or why even small changes in schedule can leave them mentally or emotionally drained because they're not beginning their day in hormonal harmony. Now imagine waking up, opening a curtain to let in the morning sun, drinking a glass of warm water with a pinch of Himalayan salt and fresh lemon to rehydrate and stimulate bile flow, stepping outside or by a window for 3 to 5 minutes of deep nasal breathing while gently rotating your shoulders and hips and visualizing the day with calm intention. This triggers the release of nitric oxide, improves vascular function, reduces sympathetic nervous system dominance, and activates the parasympathetic system, which governs digestion, immune restoration, and cellular repair. And even if you only do this for 5 to 10 minutes daily, the benefits begin compounding faster than any supplement or prescription drug, because it's not about intensity. It's about consistency and rhythm. And studies from Harvard, Stanford, and leading geriatric journals confirm that seniors who anchor their mornings with predictable, mindful routines are less likely to suffer from depression, falls, metabolic syndrome, and chronic fatigue, and more likely to maintain independence, mobility, and memory into their 80s and 90s, because the body thrives on rhythm, and rhythm begins each morning. And while many people think adding years to your life means grand, changes like going vegan or training for marathons, the truth is much simpler and more sustainable. Your morning habit can be as easy as taking your tea outside, standing barefoot on the grass for grounding, and moving your arms in big circles while doing the 4-7-8 breathing technique, which slows your heart rate, oxygenates your blood, and regulates the vagus nerve that connects your gut and brain. And if you add in a practice of expressing gratitude or repeating a positive affirmation, you not only improve your immune function, you also train your brain to look for joy, which reduces the production of inflammatory cytokines, the same markers found in people with Alzheimer's, heart disease, and cancer, which means this simple routine could literally be reducing your risk of the top 3 causes of death while boosting your energy and mental clarity within the first hour of the day. And the magic of this habit isn't just what it does to your body, it's what it prevents. No more reactive mornings spent scrolling through alarming news headlines or immediately diving into caffeine and chaos, which spike cortisol and leave you jittery, irritable, and exhausted by 10 a.m., but instead a deliberate transition from sleep to wakefulness that honors your biology and respects your need for peace, and that's psychological empowerment, knowing that you are taking proactive, intentional steps to care for your health before the world even begins demanding your attention, is what separates those who survive aging from those who thrive in it. And the best part is that no fancy equipment, gym membership, or even supplements are required. Just your presence, your breath, a window or porch, and a commitment to showing up for yourself before the distractions of the day arrive. Because longevity isn't won in the doctor's office or pharmacy. It's earned in the tiny repeated choices you make each morning before the rest of the world even wakes up. And as we reach the culmination of this life-extending morning ritual, what becomes absolutely clear is that this habit isn't just about adding minutes to your day or days to your week. It's about restoring a sense of control, confidence, and calm that can be deeply life-affirming for seniors who often feel swept along by aging rather than steering their own course through it. Because too many people over 60 wake up already behind, already stiff, already tired, already burdened by aches. medications, and worries. And that initial energy deficit ripples through every decision they make throughout the day, from skipping meals to avoiding movement to postponing social interactions, and ultimately reinforcing the very patterns that accelerate aging. But when the first thing you do after waking is grounded in purpose, hydration, breath, gentle stretching, light exposure, positive mental framing, you're stacking the deck in your favor biologically, psychologically, and emotionally. And what's even more powerful is how this habit builds momentum. Just like compound interest adds up slowly at first, but then explodes in value, so too do these small morning behaviors compound over weeks and months, transforming your vascular health, improving your insulin sensitivity, helping you shed excess weight around your midsection that is tightly linked to chronic diseases, and even lowering systemic inflammation markers like C-reactive protein, which is a major predictor of both cardiovascular and neurodegenerative decline. And the studies don't lie. Seniors who implement structured morning rituals report fewer hospital visits, higher subjective happiness scores, stronger grip strength, more restful sleep, and improved short-term memory, which means this single behavior could affect nearly every measure of quality of life we associate with healthy aging. And this is especially important because once you pass 70, health doesn't usually decline from one catastrophic event. It declines from hundreds of tiny missed opportunities to nourish and align your body. And the good news is that cycle could be reversed starting tomorrow morning by doing something as simple as waking up at the same time every day, drinking a glass of water before anything else touches your lips, stepping in a natural light, or turning on a bright full-spectrum lamp, taking 3 to 5 deep diaphragmatic breaths, and moving your joints with light, circular motions that stimulate lymph flow, and spinal fluid circulation. And while that may sound too simple to matter, research from the National Institute on Aging, the Mayo Clinic, and international journals on chronobiology have proven that these early morning cues directly reset your circadian rhythms, improve cortisol awakening response, and stimulate the production of neuroprotective hormones like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which keeps your brain plastic, alert, and protected from age-related shrinkage. And what makes this so astonishing is how little effort is truly required. No prescription drugs, no exhausting exercise regimens, no exotic supplements with improving claims. Just nature, breath, light, and movement, all done within the first 15 to 20 minutes of your morning. And even if you think you're too old or too tired or too set in your ways, the body's ability to respond to positive input does not disappear with age, and in fact becomes even more sensitive in later decades, meaning that your cells, your muscles, your brain, and your gut will all eagerly respond to this positive, nourishing habit, especially when practiced consistently for just a few weeks. And one of the most underappreciated benefits is the emotional resilience that starts to return. Because when your day begins in calm, centered movement rather than chaos, it changes how you react to stress, how you interpret pain, how you relate to loved ones, and how motivated you feel to continue caring for yourself throughout the rest of the day. Which means this single morning habit not only improves your physical health, it rebuilds your relationship with yourself and your life, creating a positive feedback loop where you feel good about your efforts, and that feeling encourages you to keep going, to do more, to stretch further, to eat better, to sleep deeper, and to finally feel that vibrant, purposeful version of yourself returning again, not as a dream or a memory, but as the new normal, which is why the smartest, longest living seniors all share one thing in common. They don't let the world dictate how their day starts. They take charge of it with intention, with breath, with movement, and with love for their own health and future. And now you can too, simply by starting tomorrow with this habit that's been scientifically proven to add not just years to your life, but vitality, joy, and clarity to every one of those years.